want to introduce my wonderful friend and colleague. We've known each other since the 90s.
I know. We met in Mysore, India. I'm Kiki Flynn.
Kiki says.
Kiki says.
Yes, and we were talking about how people think that's your name. I love that.
People think it's my name. It's my YouTube channel name, and it's my Instagram name. But that's good.
Yes, I love it. It's become like, I mean, people feel like you're family with that.
I know they do. It's nice, but I feel like they're my family. And I want to say this. Shireen and I met in India, and then we were both kind of early on social media.
Yeah.
And I started supporting everything that you were doing on Facebook. Yeah. You were supporting what I was doing on Facebook and YouTube. And that's really how we sort of motivated our relationship.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And then we actually saw each other in real life, and it was so exciting.
Yes, that's right. I know, because we had a break for a while, and then I was like, oh my God, I missed you. Like, I think like a yoga party brought us together.
Right, that's right. That was so nice.
And it was so faded, and I was like, you know what? I feel like we're supposed to work together. So we came together, and we did. It's funny because we're doing 38, and I'm pretty sure we did Project 40. It was either 28 or 29. So it might have been 28, which is really interesting.
That is very interesting.
Now 38, I have to check. But we did the Addictions, Compulsions, and Obsessions P40. That was in, I think, 2015.
And I have to say that doing that daily writing project for our community of Project 40 participants, I think it's some of the best writing that I ever did.
Yes.
It was so inspiring reading everything that you were doing. And then also, I had just completed my executive coaching.
Yes, that's right.
At NYU. And so it was some of the first coaching that I did. And I had such exciting, facilitated, such breakthroughs.
Yes, people loved working with you. And that's why, and so many people requested that I bring you back. And I was like,
oh, I'm so glad I'm back. And I have more coaching skills now. So
I know you've done so much in the last few years. And I know I've just watched your whole, your vision really explode. And it's been so exciting to watch and just see how many people you've helped. And I was like, definitely need to bring you in for this one, because I'm at the end of my Project 40 run. So the last 3 are really, really special to me. So each one is like a gem. And
40 Project 40s.
40 Project 40s, and this is 38.
38. Amazing. And so tell us about Saturn and Capricorn.
Yes, this is huge. So already it's amazing how many conversations are going on about this, because it's so pivotal for so many reasons. Saturn is returning to his home sign after it's about 29 and a half years since he's been in Capricorn. And it's where he does some of his finest work, obviously, because it's his home sign. I mean, his home signs are Capricorn and Aquarius. He's exalted in Libra, so he also does excellent work there too, which we had in 2010. But this is different though, because we've had Pluto going through Capricorn since 2008. So we've been on this path of like uncovering all the corruption, and you've seen all these revolutions happening with people trying to expose the level of greed and power tripping, and it's been an ongoing battle, right? So I feel like with Saturn going into Capricorn,
slow march.
Yes. I feel like now that we've got Saturn is the great lord of karma and time and integrity. And he does rule all of these structures in our lives, laws and government and, literally like the laws of karma, more importantly, behind this.
It makes me think of Dharma, because the laws of Dharma, like the Dharma Shastra, were really the books on governance. So we have our personal Dharma, which is our own path, doing our personal path, which you and I are doing now. But then there's the Dharma for a family, for a community, for a nation.
Yes.
So that's also all about governance and rules and everything like that. So that's interesting.
Yes. And exactly. So it's the personal kind of meeting the political, because we can't really separate the two right now. And my sense is what's happening is with Saturn finally going back into his home sign, we're all feeling the pressure now to work on integrity, because otherwise it's like a house of cards that's about to fall. And we can see like whatever has been lacking in integrity, whatever's been corrupt, we're already seeing it coming down. Like it's a very we could say, wobbly structure at this point. I mean, you can't hold it together much longer because Saturn really comes in and is like, all right, enough is enough. If this does not have strong foundation, if this is not rooted in truth and justice and, you know, dharma, proper principles, if this is corrupt, we're going to take this down. You know, it's kind of like the cops finally showing up. Saturn is like the cops. So it's like the karmic cop finally showing up and going, all right, let's remove all the fakery here and all of the BS and all of the, you know, the corruption, basically. So that's happening on this global level, but or we can hope. I mean, I really think that's what's about to go down. And personally, the way we want to show up is to do the work on our own, you know, personal inventory, where we need to clean up our side of the street and do the work and get into alignment and into integrity, which, you know, the deeper we go into this work, we realize it's not without the work on the body. You know, like there has to be the embodiment piece, which is why I wanted to work with you, because that's
something that what you're saying makes me think of. It's when we think about our own wellness or our well-being, and we want to do something every day to support our wellness and our well-being. And then we want to have, you know, we have daily goals, we have short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. What it's really about, we want to know that they're our goals.
Yes.
And that they're current.
Yes.
There might be something that we wanted 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And when we update, we might think, oh, I want to be doing it just the way I did then. But that might not be appropriate for who we are. So we're also taking down these false structures around who we are, or
that's a great way to put it.
We're updating ourselves. So we're fostering and cultivating the well-being of our true nature, our true being, not these projections or something, or these old ideas. We don't want to go backwards. Like, we might be inspired. I know you've danced for many years. We've done yoga for many years. But we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forward.
Yes.
So dance and yoga may still be part of our lives, but we're doing it going forward in a new way.
That's a great point, because often we're really hard on ourselves. And I think that's going to come up in the Saturn work. Saturn is so much about where we put pressure on ourselves to show up. And sometimes, I mean, I know for instance, this is a great example, because we used to get up at 4 a.m. and do Mysore Ashtanga every day, you know, and only eat 2 meals a day and go to bed at, you know, 7 o'clock to get up again, to do it again, you know, and I used to pride myself on, yes, my last meal was at 4:30. And that's all I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to go to bed and get up and do this practice again. And then just meditate all day. That is wonderful. And I think sometimes I still have these fantasies like that. I swear every day I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get up at 4 tomorrow.
Right.
I still think that every day. But
we know that
it's harder to give up.
The yoga are cumulative.
Yes.
Right.
Now it's a little different version. Right.
It would be like going back to college or something.
Yeah, right. But we hang on to those. I think we sometimes hang on to those goals. That's a really good point. And we have, like you said, we have to update them. And Saturn is the principle of reality too. So there will be some reality checking, but also to figure out, because integrity is such a personal thing. So we don't even realize we're out of integrity in even subtle ways until our body tells us, hey, like, you're out of integrity, like you're working too hard, or you're not getting enough sleep, or you're not getting enough protein, or you're not getting enough water, or whatever it is. We need the body often to cue us, because we have our own ego ideas about what.
Right. Or we're joining some club. You know, we so much want to be part of the juicing vegan club or something. Yes. People are exhausted.
I know.
People are exhausted. They're like, but Kiki, I really want to be vegan. And then I'm like, you know.
I know. I'm so glad you're talking about this, because I respect, you know, I do respect the philosophy. I don't like to harm animals either. But yes, it is quite a demand on the body to stay healthy and be vegan. Although there are people, I mean, I think if you live in India or, you know, there, I think you can do it. If you live in certain climates and certain cultures and without stress, you know, if there's certain ways.
You have a large family and people are helping you compost and take out your trash.
Yeah, exactly.
keep your house clean.
True. I know. So there's, yeah. So, yeah. So to each goals, but yeah, I think it's a great point to say, like, sometimes people, there's all this pressure about what should make you a spiritual person or a good person or someone who does the Saturn work. And it's really individual. And that's the point, that you have part of individuation, which is a Saturn process, by the way, is that you create your own rules and you live by them, and they really resonate with you. And it's not to impress or improve or to get approval from anything external. It's really got to come from within. So that's going to be a big part of our 40-day journey, is to find those internal I guess it's like barometers of where you're in alignment, where you're out of alignment, and where you need to strengthen your own internal structure.
Right. And structure actually is really important, right? Our bones, our structure, our strength.
Saturn rules the bones, actually. And he rules the bone, skin, teeth, hair, nails, and bones. Saturn.
Great.
Yeah.
Very important. So we need to nourish. So a lot of times when clients or students, people talk about, or just in general conversation, people talk about, oh, I need to be more disciplined, I need to do more.
Yes.
They're actually talking about denial.
Yes.
Right? So they're kind of fatiguing. A lot of what we think about is actually fatiguing and breaking us down.
Yes.
So we can do daily discipline and daily self-care, which builds us up, so even shopping for food, making our own food, carrying our own food with us, that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
But it's nurturing, it's nourishing, it's supporting, and we'll get huge health benefits from it. And then we can share those meals, which is very Saturn too, especially if we share with people who have less than what we have.
That is a Saturn thing, yes. Service is a big Saturn.
Right.
So on the page, we've got kind of a lot of the headlining themes that we're going to be working on, but maybe, and I think those are pretty self-explanatory, but maybe what would be helpful for people who are trying to decide if this is the right investment for them, if they want to really commit. It is a big commitment, 40 days. And some people say, oh, I'm not going to have time. It's the new year. It's a really busy time. But I can say that, and also from doing these 40 days, that even if you just devote 15 minutes a day and all you do is read the emails, and you're kind of in that sacred space, the temenos of this process, we call it the temenos, which is a sacred space, that something will happen, like alchemy still will happen. Even if you don't have time to do any of the journaling, which there's always some time, you can make the time.
Here's what I would say about time. Time management is really self-management. We're never going to get more time. The day is never going to be more than 24 hours. It's really how we manage ourselves. And in a sense, we could look at time management like money management.
They're very connected.
If we really want something, let's say I want to make this purchase, then I don't buy coffee or juices out of the house. And then you save $5 to $15 a day. And at the end of the week, you have your 50 or 100 bucks, you can make your purchase.
Yes.
You can do the same way with time. I can say, I'm not going to, be on Instagram or.
Right. Those are the big time suckers.
Or whatever. And that self-management of putting the phone down for 30 minutes, oops, that's 30 minutes that I just got.
Yes.
For a little bit of meditation or a little bit of breathing or a little bit of yoga or journaling or Project 40.
Right. And we're going to help you with the time. That's part of it. Saturn rules time. So a big thing is we're going to help you understand your relationship to time. And so if ever your excuse of not doing Project 40 is I don't have time, this would be the one to work on if you want to do it, if you want to commit to doing the work.
Absolutely.
We'll help you with that.
The other thing is there's certain things that we do that give us more energy.
Absolutely.
Right? So just a little bit of meditation gives us more energy. What I like about Project 40, when I've participated in it as a Project 40 participant.
Oh yes, you've done it on that side too. Yeah, I love that.
Is that reading like the host, like your partner's what you're sharing is that like my mind blows open. I couldn't have put that in my mind. My mind wouldn't have. So it's very energizing to open the Project 40. The other thing that I'm going to say is I did the Venus one and as a participant, and it was about being stuck in love. And after that, pretty quickly, I've now had a boyfriend for 2 years.
Amazing. And so many people got like partners after that Venus.
I know, he's so amazing. And you know, it's so interesting. After I did that, I was like, I'm done with dating. Like, dating is so dumb. I'm ready to meet like a partner, an amazing person.
Oh my God.
I met this amazing person. And we had some really nice dating. Then he's like, yeah, this dating thing is really fun. I was like, I'm not into dating. I want a relationship. I want a partnership that's exponentially more awesome and full of joy than being on my own. And he was like, well, that sounds really good. Let's do that.
Sounds great. Why not? I love it. I know, because you did the work for 40 days. Like
the work is,
Venus.
You know, I get it. It's like we all know a lot. Everyone knows a lot. Everyone has a lot of experience. People that have been doing work on themselves, they know a lot.
Yeah.
But there's something so transformational and like explosive about waking up in the morning and partnering with people we trust on amazing things.
I know there's so much magic that happens just in the fact that we're all working on the same intention.
Absolutely.
And the same, and to have the power of Saturn, because a lot of people are a little intimidated by Saturn. They think, oh, they fear him, like he's the Reaper, or he's the big daddy that's gonna take them down, you know, like humble them, bring them to their knees. Yes, he does have that power, there's no doubt. But if you can, the point, the intention of invoking him is to make him an ally, and that ultimately he's there. He wants to support us. I mean, I'm saying I'm personalizing him, but as an archetypal force, Saturn is an inner force within us. He is that strengthening good father potentially in us if we make that energy conscious. He does teach hard knocks lessons. There's no doubt.
He does.
He just asks us to like Saturn has some pretty simple guidelines to invoking him in a conscious way, which one is honoring time, like showing up, doing the work, being on time. Another simple one is not wasting anything. Another one is having intention and being like knowing that you have a use for something. If it's useful, Saturn won't deny it. It's just when he sees that you're wasting the resource, the time, the money, the energy, that's when there'll be an obstruction usually. Again, or if you're out of integrity, Saturn kicks in and is like, So if we work, and these are just a few of the little secrets of Saturn, but there's so many I want to share because that's been my work. I wrote a book called Surviving Saturn's Return. Saturn Return.
You're a Saturn sister.
I'm a Saturn sister, so this is really my life's work. I'm really dedicated to, you know, embracing the greatness of Saturn. That's another excellent book by Robert Svoboda.
I love that book. And actually, Saturn also is running the oil press of the sesame oil.
Yes.
Turning the oil press. And so using sesame oil is also a way that we'll
have lots of those rituals, right? We're going to have, so Kiki's going to share all her amazing recipes, secrets, rituals, all of your self-care techniques.
Yes, definitely. And also a lot of great affirmations. I feel that affirmations are so important.
Yes.
And really planting the seeds for these messages in our mind to really honor ourselves.
Saturn loves repetition, loves
mantras.
Yeah, it's very, very healing. It's the repetition, it's the consistency in the repetition that really invokes the power of recreating a new structure. Like if we want to change a structure, it has to be done over and over again. That's how a habit is formed. And
right.
It's all about those grooves and those habits. And it takes 7 years to change like the deep fundamental bone level patterns in our body. But it's interesting because Saturn actually rules the alchemical process of the nigredo, which is what Project 40 is based on. That's why the logo actually has the Saturn symbol in it.
Right.
Saturn and Venus are the ruling deities of the alchemical process, because Saturn, we start with Saturn. Saturn is our psychological muck, all of our insecurities, fears, demons, all that dark stuff that we're like, ugh, shadow work, all the stuff that we're struggling with. We don't want anyone to know. It's our deepest kind of insecure, mucky area. We offer that up into, we call that the Negredo, we offer that up into the alchemical alembic for the transformational fire to come. And that's what we're doing over 40 days. We're literally in this deep purification process through the journaling, through the sacred group, the community, through all of the ritual work that we're going to be doing. And that is not only honoring and revering the power of Saturn, but we're actually, I mean, Saturn is actually supporting the whole process, and it's transmuting that leadened, kind of heavy, depressed, melancholic energy that resides. That's literally the Saturn element. It's lead, transmuting that into gold. Ultimately, is the metaphor, which I love. So it's a very powerful process, and I think I've done one other Saturn P40 a few years ago, before I was doing the ones devoted specifically to the planets. I did do one for Saturn, and it was definitely one of the most powerful 40 days, I have to say, like, because it's kind of like P40 times 10 since Saturn's already part of P40. It's even stronger. So I think we can expect to go very deep, and the beauty of the timing is that January 1st, we have not only a full moon in Cancer, but we're right in the midst of this Saturn and Capricorn cycle. And the sun will also be in Capricorn, and a lot of other planets will go into the Saturn ruled signs. So Saturn is very dominant anyway in the zeitgeist or in the collective unconscious. So we're going to be wanting to work on that energy. We're going to need a container for that. Without that, we might be feeling like life is a little heavy. The reality principle is a little too intense. But if you do it in a magical way, it can be, you get it's a very different experience.
And then we're all supporting each other through that. So we're not alone.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Because Saturn, even though on some level we're all alone, always, Saturn teaches us that even we come into this world alone, we die alone. But while we're embracing that truth, it's nice to have people around you.
Definitely.
So, and then I guess the only other thing we could talk about, maybe some Saturnian structural things of how we're setting this one up a little differently. We're going to be doing a Q&A at the end. So anything that's still unresolved, we're going to do a video like this where people can submit their questions, and we're going to be addressing specifically any lingering issues that didn't get processed, questions people may have. And yeah, and the celebration. Is that what you're
saying? Celebration.
Yeah. I know you wanted to talk about that.
We're going to do a Q&A sort of halfway through.
Oh, is that halfway? Okay, thanks for clarifying.
So halfway through, we're going to do a Q&A where you and I we're all going to meet online, and we'll do a Q&A to help guide people along and really validate and affirm the work that everyone's doing. Great. And then we'll have a closure celebration where everyone in the community, we can come back online and really share what the big wins, personal wins and takeaways and transformations are, which is so important, because
I love that.
We do the work alone, but then we get to come out and really we get to validate and affirm for the participants, and then everyone can do the same.
Yeah. And our intention for this is that different than the typical New Year's resolutions, like make your New Year's resolution stick. We really wanted to be finding whatever your deepest passion of, what you want to get in place as a structure in your being, in your psyche, and in your life, and have it actually not just stick like a habit, but become a part of you, such an integral part of you that it can't be otherwise. Like, so it's not something you have to struggle to maintain.
We have so many different facets, right, of our character, of our personality, of our mind, of who we are.
Yes.
And we want to support all of those.
Yes.
The way that New Year's resolutions are, you're only usually looking at one aspect of themselves. Then trying to force everything to that.
True.
So we can support this multifaceted
Yeah,
sense of self.
that's a beautiful way to put it, instead of like trying to like, force like a round peg into a square hole or something, just to
Or
like
like a giant peg.
Yeah, giant, yes, giant multifaceted
Tiny hole.
crystal into like this, these typical.
Exactly.
Saying, like, if people came, you were saying, we were talking before we were recording, that if people came to you and said, hey, my goal is I want to lose 15 pounds and go to yoga every day.
It's not a good goal.
Right.
Well, let's say you lose 15 pounds, then what?
Yeah, and why?
And why? Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also you want to go to yoga every day. Well, what if you're overworked? What if you're sick? What if your mom's in town? What if you, and then you don't go, you failed at your goal.
Right, it should be.
So we want a goal that's around some joyous aspect of our self and life and how we are in the world.
Yeah.
And it should bring joy not only to us, but to others.
Yeah, so that's more, like you said, that's more sustainable, because it's more about something that has continuity versus like trying to achieve when you get into perfectionism, you're already out of alignment.
Absolutely. So even if someone said, I want yoga to be part of my daily life.
Beautiful.
Why? Because I want to have more peace of mind and compassion. I want to be more at ease in myself. And I want these different, qualities, whatever they may be, with yoga. So I want yoga to be part of my daily life. So that could look like 5 or 10 minutes at home.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in a classroom twice a week.
Yeah.
Maybe it's with reading.
Maybe
so then yoga is right. So then yoga is part of our life, but it's not so rigid where we're going to fail. So even if at the end of the day, someone said, oh my gosh, I didn't get any yoga, and pick up that yoga book,
right.
5 minutes, light a stick of incense, take a mantra, there, it's done.
Exactly.
Then you have a sense of success.
Yes.
With our goals, and success breeds success.
Yes.
Failure actually turns on our fight or flight. We can only fail so many times before it becomes distress and it breaks us down.
And exactly. And you can get caught so easily in these loops of like, tomorrow, I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to get up early tomorrow, I'm going to go on a diet tomorrow, I'm going to finally get on this like perfect path, this perfect yoga thing. And because of that pressure, and then the continual, the constant failing to meet that sort of,
it undermines
that goal. But it's like we're already setting ourselves up for sabotage, and undermining something that's where Saturn can really help, because it's finding this middle ground between, there is a reality principle with Saturn that kicks in. That's like, it's like when you finally get to that point when you get old enough in your life where you're like, yeah, you're probably not going to do that. You finally come to, or people will say to you like, yeah, you've been saying for the last 10 years you want to get up early. You might want to just accept you're not a morning person at this point. You're an evening person.
And also
or you like to eat a lot of food.
Right.
It's okay. You enjoy food. Stop. Stop denying yourself.
Right. And whose voices are those? Those might not be an authentic voice for us.
Exactly. It might not be an internal voice, and it's like still trying to.
Right. That's right.
Some external standard. So we're gonna work on all of this. This is gonna be an ongoing conversation.
So we have our 40 days of emails.
Yes.
With both of us participating. So that's 2 coming together every morning.
A lot of they're very long, and if anything, we give you more than enough.
Yes.
Tell me, so don't feel like you have to do it all, but we want to rather give you too much than not enough.
And then we have our secret Facebook group.
Yes.
And then we have these 2 video calls.
Yes.
And we have our beautiful celebration. One of them is our beautiful celebration at the end.
Yes.
And then you can add on a 30-minute consultation with each of us.
Yes, we've got different tiers. We've got
or a 60-minute with each of us, or the new 90-minute.
Yes. That's the Saturn, what is that, the platinum? No, the diamond. Excuse me, diamond.
Diamond.
The Saturn diamond. I'm getting this from my airline. I was inspired by I want to be a diamond in my airline.
No, I like that.
I'm still only platinum. So, but yeah, I thought that was very Saturnian to have the different levels. But yeah, so depending on how deeply you want to go into Saturn, you have these options. And even if you do the Saturn Classic, which is still going to give you a lot, if you're in that and you decide you want to do some more one-on work with me or Kiki, we also can arrange that if we have time, depending on how full.
You want to level up.
Yeah, you want to level up, we'll try to make that happen too. Because we like sharing with doing the one-on-one work while we're doing the 40 days. It's very nice to have that context. I recommend that because so much is going to come up. So it's nice to have some time one-on-one if you can do it. And the other thing we didn't talk about in the packages too, that I've started doing that people really love, and I've gotten really obsessed with too, is I create these, I don't know if you even know about this, I create these specific flower essences. I work with the star flower essences from Machu Picchu, and they're very powerful vibrational remedies that I create specifically for the theme. So people will tell me what they're working on, and then I create one specifically for them with Saturn, and then a body balm that goes with it, with obviously all organic and essential oils. And yeah.
Beautiful.
So I love that. So people can use that during the 40 days as part of it.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Feel very, very supported.
Yeah.
All the senses.
Feel very supported. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to it for me.
I know.
So I'm going to grow. I'm going to be more disciplined. I'm going to make discoveries. And
yes.
And
we live at real time. We live at real time with you, and that's what I love. So we live it one day ahead of you, so that we can download whatever the messages are and give you, that's the beauty. And then we see how much we're all in synchronicity, because we write it a day ahead, and then people wake up the next morning and read it, and they're like, oh my God, that's what's happened to me too. So cool. Yeah.
It's great.
I love it. So we really hope you'll join us. You have until
please join us.
Midnight. It's like the midnight of New Year's Eve, but don't wait that long, because we are limiting this one just because it's a lot of energy to contain. So once you'll see it will show you when you go to the page how many of each thing are left, but we want you to get in. So I hope you will join us.
I'm so looking forward. And Shireen, I'm so grateful that you invited me back.
I'm so grateful that you accepted and we have you. Yes. So thank you. And yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop me an email, or me or Kiki an email. Check out her channel on YouTube, Kiki Says. And I think
we'll see you soon.
We'll see you on January 1st, 2018. Bye. Bye.